My child, I want you to listen closely to my voice. A pair of individuals is making their way toward you, and I am speaking to you now so that your spirit will be prepared for their arrival. Do not let my words cause you anxiety. Let them be a source of strength and assurance. When I give you a warning, it is never to plant fear in your heart. Instead, it is an act of my love, designed to give you the gift of foresight. I am preparing you, equipping you with wisdom, and placing a guard around your steps so you do not fall into a trap. I am not a distant God who keeps secrets from those who walk faithfully with me. I reveal what is hidden to those I love, so they are not caught by surprise by the enemy's strategies. You are not facing this situation alone. My presence is your shield, my arm is your defense, and my hand will guide every ounce of your discernment. The two people who are approaching you carry words that are polished and smooth, like stones worn down by a river, but hidden beneath their pleasantries is a current of deception. They will introduce themselves as allies, as people who simply wish to be a part of your life and offer their help, but their true motivations are far from pure. Their journey to you is driven by a desire for personal gain. They are not coming because they hold any genuine love for you, but because they have identified something in your life that they deeply covet. In secret corners, they have spoken to each other, forming a plan in their hearts that is not aligned with my peace or your well-being. I am the one who hears every hushed conversation they have. I know the thoughts that form in their minds before they even have the words to express them. And I am telling you now, my child, that their thoughts are not for your benefit. I am not revealing this to you so that you will develop hatred for them. Hatred is a poison that has no place in your heart, but clear-eyed discernment is your birthright. I am telling you this so that when their feet are at your door, your spirit will already be alert, your eyes will be wide open to the truth, and your heart will be securely guarded by my counsel. If you were to welcome them without this wisdom, their influence would act like a subtle poison, planting seeds of confusion and doubt within you. They would take advantage of your natural openness and use it as a doorway for their self-serving schemes. But because I love you with an everlasting love, I am granting you sight that goes far beyond what your physical eyes can see. You must grasp this truth, my child. Not everyone who is drawn to you is sent by me. Some are attracted to the light I have placed within you, not because they want to honor it, but because they harbor a secret hope to diminish it or use it for their own purposes. Others observe the blessings upon your life and begin to scheme, wondering how they can attach themselves to you in order to gain from it. These two who are now on their way fall into this category. They have a sense that my presence is with you, and they mistakenly believe that by getting close to you, they can somehow gain access to the blessings and provisions that I have specifically reserved for you. You must not allow them to take hold of what is sacred and holy in your life. The gifts, the calling, and the blessings I have entrusted to you are not meant for those with crooked intentions and selfish hearts. Therefore, you must guard your words when you are in their presence. Do not pour out the treasures of your heart or share your deepest vulnerabilities with them. They are not listening with a spirit of celebration for your journey. They are listening to identify weaknesses they can exploit. In this situation, silence will be a profound source of your strength, and the wisdom I give you will be your impenetrable shield. When you must speak, answer them with grace, but measure your words carefully. Let no intimate secret or future plan escape your lips, for the enemy delights in knowledge that is wrongly placed and can be used against you. Speak only the words I place upon your heart in that very moment, for my spirit will guide your tongue. Do not be afraid that you will make a mistake or misstep, for I am dwelling within you, and I will stir your conscience as a faithful guide. If you remain still and learn to listen to the quiet language of your spirit, you will feel a distinct sense of unease when they speak. That feeling of unease is my signal to you. It is my internal alarm system. Do not dismiss it. Do not try to explain it away as your imagination or a passing mood. It is my voice, speaking to you in a subtle but firm way, letting you know that their words are a mask for their true intentions. If you pay close attention, you will begin to see the truth that hides behind their smiles and the selfish motives that drive their gestures. Before you open your door to them, first open your heart to me in prayer. When you stand before them, remember that you are not standing in your own strength. I am standing with you, in you, and all around you. My very presence will be a barrier that their deception cannot penetrate. My light within you will be a consuming fire that their darkness cannot extinguish. And my perfect peace will be a fortress around your soul, keeping you secure. They may try to agitate you with probing questions, with carefully crafted stories, or with subtle flattery designed to lower your guard, but your strength will be found in remaining completely unmoved and anchored in me. When you stay firmly rooted in my truth, their words will lose their power over you, and you will watch as their plans begin to unravel right before your eyes. You might be wondering, my child, why I am even allowing them to come to you if their intentions are not for your good. Listen carefully to my heart on this matter. I am allowing this encounter not to bring you harm, but to train you. The skill of discernment is not something that can be learned from a book or in a classroom. It is forged in the fire of real-life experience. Through this very encounter, you will learn how to distinguish the voice of truth from the voice of deception. You will learn to recognize the difference between those who come to bring peace and those who come cloaked in a false peace while carrying strife in their hearts. This moment is designed to sharpen your spiritual senses and mature your understanding of the world around you. I am raising you up to be wise, and true wisdom is formed in moments exactly like these. Remember also that while their plans may be hidden from you, they are fully exposed to me. They speak in secret, but I am listening to every word. They plot in the darkness, but my eyes can see through any shadow. They believe they are approaching you with a strategic advantage, but they have no idea that I have already gone ahead of them and prepared you with my words. You are not being caught unaware. You are not defenseless. In fact, you are already one step ahead, because I am the God who warns, prepares, and equips his children. Let your outward manner be kind, for kindness is a reflection of your true nature in me. But let your inner discernment be unyielding and firm. Do not let your kindness be misinterpreted as weakness or naivety. You do not need to mirror their deceptive tactics in order to protect yourself. The light I have placed within you is infinitely more powerful than any dark plan they could ever carry. However, you must be wise and not hand over the keys to your heart, your home, and your destiny to those who only want to use them against you. Protect your sacred space. Protect your vulnerable heart. Protect the unique calling I have placed on your life. You must understand that not everyone is meant to be welcomed into the inner chambers of your life. Understand this as well. The enemy often works through pairs because one person can strengthen the other in their deceit. If one were to come alone, their confidence might waver, but together, they embolden each other. They have likely rehearsed their words and planned their approach before they even come to you, believing that their unity makes them a formidable force. But you must remember, my child, that their unity is not rooted in righteousness, and any unity that is built upon a foundation of deception is destined to collapse under its own weight. Do not be intimidated by their number, for I am with you, and my presence is greater than 2 or 10 or even thousands. When I am on your side, you always stand in the majority. You may feel a temptation to question why people cannot simply approach others with pure hearts, why they must conceal their true motives, and why they choose to walk in cunning paths instead of the straightforward path of truth. Know this: the heart of man, when it is not fully surrendered to me, is easily swayed by selfishness, by envy, and by fear. But it is not your responsibility to solve the condition of their hearts. It is your responsibility to recognize it and respond with the wisdom I provide. Do not waste your precious spiritual and emotional energy trying to figure out why they are the way they are. Instead, use your strength to remain perfectly aligned with me. For in that alignment, you will never be shaken. If you choose to open the door, do so with my name on your lips. If you welcome them into your home, welcome them with my presence filling the atmosphere around you. Let them feel that the very ground they are standing on is not theirs to control, but it is my holy ground. They will sense it, and that sense will unsettle them, because deception always trembles in the presence of pure truth. The masks they are wearing will begin to feel heavy on their faces, and the weight of my presence will expose the cracks in their carefully constructed pretenses. If you remain still and listen attentively, you will see how their own words begin to betray them. Lies cannot withstand the light for long. They eventually crumble under their own inherent weakness. Should they ask things of you that do not align with my peace or my will for your life, you do not need to get into an argument. You do not need to defend yourself with long and complicated explanations. A simple and firm refusal, wrapped in a blanket of calmness, will disarm them far more effectively than a flood of justifications. Your true strength in this encounter will be found in your serenity, and your authority will be found in your composure. The enemy delights when he can rattle you and make you anxious, but he is completely silenced when you remain deeply rooted and secure in me. I will not allow their plan to prosper against you. They may try, they may speak their deceptive words, and they may push for what they want, but I have already placed a holy boundary around you that they cannot cross. Their hands cannot reach beyond what I permit, and I will not permit them to bring you any lasting harm. You are mine, and I guard what belongs to me with a fierce love. You may be wondering what it is they hope to gain from you. Listen, and I will tell you. They desire to have influence over you. They desire to gain access to the spiritual gifts and favor I have placed within you. They desire to shift your path and purpose to serve their own agendas. But what I have ordained for your life cannot be stolen. It cannot be redirected by human hands. It cannot be corrupted by selfish motives. It belongs to you, and it is sealed by my unbreakable promise. They may knock on the door, but they cannot enter the places where my seal of ownership rests. I am telling you these things not so that you will live your life in constant suspicion of every person who comes your way, but so that you may learn the sacred art of discernment without allowing your heart to become hard. Love must always be the river that flows from you, but wisdom must be the banks that guide its direction. A river that flows freely without banks will create a destructive flood. In the same way, your love must not be without the protective boundaries of discernment, or it will be misused and taken advantage of. And listen, my child, after they have departed from your home, do not carry their shadow with you. Do not spend your time replaying their words in your mind, allowing fear or anxiety to take root. Do not permit the memory of their presence to linger in your spirit. Once they leave, you must consciously release them into my hands. If you feel led by my spirit, pray for them. For in many ways, they are more blind than they are wicked, and blindness leads many people into foolish and destructive paths. But do not bind yourself to their intentions or their energy. Shake the dust of that encounter from your feet and move forward in the peace that I have given you. This moment is not sent to break you, my child. It is sent to train you. It will sharpen your spiritual hearing. It will strengthen your muscle of discernment. It will deepen your reliance and dependence upon me. And when greater blessings and greater responsibilities come into your life, you will look back on this day and understand that this was merely a small preparation for the larger and more significant discernments that lay ahead. For as I elevate you and increase your influence, more and more people will be drawn to you. some are in truth, and some in falsehood. You must learn now how to separate the two so that your steps remain secure on the path I have laid out for you. My child, you have asked me to help you understand why it is so profoundly important to discern the people who come into your life. You have asked why it is necessary to wait and carefully assess whether they are sent to bless you or sent to disrupt you, and why you must not simply open every door to every voice that calls your name. I will speak to you plainly now, for I do not want you to walk in confusion or uncertainty. Discernment is not a luxury reserved for those who are spiritually mature or strong. It is an absolute necessity for every single soul who desires to walk closely with me. Without it, even the most well-intentioned and loving heart can be tragically misled. The journey I have set before you is not just about what you accomplish or achieve in this life. It is also about what you protect along the way. You are a carrier of priceless treasures. Your faith is a treasure. Your unique calling is a treasure. Your peace of mind and your joy are treasures. Your spiritual growth is a treasure. These things are not always visible to the natural eye, but they are seen clearly by both the forces of heaven and the forces of hell. Some people who are sent into your life come as divine helpers, as encouragers, as allies who are appointed to walk beside you for a season, or in some cases, for a lifetime. They are sent directly from my hand, and their presence in your life will bring alignment, rest, a sense of rightness, and a holy sharpening of your spirit. But others come not because I have sent them, but because the adversary, who sees the light of my presence in you, seeks to dim that light through subtle and deceptive influences. Do you remember the story of how the serpent entered the Garden of Eden, my child? He did not come with obvious weapons in his hands. He came with persuasive and questioning words on his tongue. He did not strike Eve with physical violence. He struck her with cunning persuasion. The danger was not in his outward appearance, but in the hidden intent behind his words. And so it is even now in your own life. Those who seek to pull you away from the path I have for you will rarely come to you as open and declared enemies. They will come disguised as companions, as wise advisors, as supportive friends. They will come cloaked in a false light, though their true source is darkness. They will come to you with warm smiles, though their hearts are secretly plotting against you. And if you lack discernment, you may tragically confuse their presence with my blessing. Discernment, therefore, is the divine gift that allows you to separate the pure from the poison, the true from the false, the one who is sent from the one who is deceiving. It is the light within your spirit that exposes what your natural eyes and your human reasoning cannot see. Without it, you may find yourself embracing what is ultimately harmful to you and rejecting what was meant to heal and strengthen you. So many of my children have welcomed into their inner circle individuals who carried seeds of destruction, all because they judged only by outward appearance, by personal charm, or by flattering words. And just as many have turned away their true, God sent allies because they did not recognize the humble or unexpected form in which I sent them. This is precisely why I am speaking to you with such clarity and urgency, so that you will not make the same mistake. Understand this deep truth. Not all who smile at you are for you. And conversely, not all who challenge you are against you. Some who shower you with flattery are only seeking to gain something from you, while some who offer you a difficult correction do so out of a deep love that desires to protect you. If you do not have discernment, you will naturally gravitate toward those who appeal to your comfort and your ego, and you may push away those who are actually speaking words of life and truth to you. The enemy knows this human weakness and exploits it masterfully. He sends people who will tell you exactly what you want to hear, because he knows that the flesh delights in agreeable and affirming voices. But my spirit is training you to listen on a deeper level, to test the source of every word, to look beyond the surface of every interaction, and to measure every voice against the unchanging standard of my truth. Discernment is what protects your destiny. Without it, a single wrong relationship can derail years of your purpose. One partnership entered into without my counsel can cost you an entire season of spiritual growth. A friendship embraced without wisdom can sow seeds of doubt that will eventually choke the life out of your faith. A confidant chosen without my guidance can carry your most sacred secrets into places they were never meant to be heard. The adversary is not a careless strategist. He knows that just one wrong connection, if allowed close enough, can undo a great deal of progress in your life. That is why I warn you. That is why I am calling you to a life of discernment. Please do not think that discernment is the same as suspicion. It is not about living in a constant state of fear of every person you meet, nor is it about distrusting every hand that is extended toward you in kindness. That is not the abundant and free life I have called you to live. True, godly discernment is peace combined with clarity. It is the ability to welcome with open and loving arms those whom I send, while simultaneously maintaining strong and healthy boundaries against those whom I do not. It is not paranoia, it is wisdom. It is not coldness, it is protection. It is the guardrail on the side of the road that keeps you from plunging into deep valleys of regret and pain. How then will you discern? You cannot do it by your own wisdom or intellect alone. The heart of man is far too complex, and appearances can be masterfully deceptive. But I am the one who searches the hearts and tests the thoughts of all people. I reveal the truth to you by my Spirit when you make the choice to abide in me. When you quiet yourself enough to listen, I speak to your conscience. I stir a sense of unease within you when danger is approaching. And I release a profound sense of peace when I am in something. My Spirit bears witness with your spirit, guiding you like a perfect inner compass that always points toward truth. The more you practice listening to this inner guidance, the clearer it will become. The more you ignore it, the fainter it will seem. Sometimes I will show you things plainly through dreams, through quiet whispers to your heart, or through a sudden, unexplainable knowing that cannot be traced back to logic or reason. Other times, I will speak to you through your circumstances, sovereignly closing doors that you were trying to force open, and frustrating plans that were never for your ultimate good. You may feel a sense of disappointment in that moment, but later on, you will look back and see my mercy in the prevention. What you thought was a loss was, in fact, my loving protection. Many times I have spared you from harm without you even knowing it, by simply removing from your path those who would have hurt you had they been allowed to remain. You may not realize the extent of my protection until years later, but know this: every no you have received from me was a shield. Every disruption to your plans was a divine deliverance. But you must also know that discernment requires your willing participation. I will always guide you, but you must make the choice to heed my guidance. Far too many of my children sense the warning in their spirit, yet they actively silence it because the truth is uncomfortable and they do not want to believe it. They cling to relationships that I have clearly shown them they need to release. They make excuses for behaviors that I have highlighted as dangerous and toxic. They mislabel what is poisonous as a test of their patience, and they refuse to let go of people and situations, even when I have made it abundantly clear that it is time to move on. Child, I cannot protect what you insist on holding on to. You must trust me enough to obey my voice, even when your emotions and your desires resist. Why do I speak to you so strongly about this? It is because your life, your purpose, and your well-being matter deeply to me. And every voice that you allow to enter your life has influence. Influence shapes your thoughts shape your actions, and your actions ultimately shape your destiny. If the wrong influence is allowed to get too close, it can slowly and imperceptibly bend your path until you wake up one day and find yourself far from the place I have called you to be. This is not always a sudden or dramatic event. Often, It is a gradual drift, unnoticed, until much has already shifted within you. That is why you must learn to discern early, before the roots of a wrong connection grow too deep, before the ties of a toxic relationship become chains that are difficult to break. There are people whom I have ordained for your benefit. These are people whose very presence will lift you closer to me, whose counsel will sharpen your faith, and whose prayers will cover you in times of weakness. These people are precious gifts that I place in your life. Sometimes, they will not look like what you expect. They may be humble and unnoticed by the world, yet their words will carry the weight of heaven because they come from me. They may not impress you with their worldly status or appearance, but they will impress you with their unwavering commitment to truth. They may not tell you only what you wish to hear, but they will lovingly tell you what you need to hear for your own growth and protection. Do not overlook these divine connections, for in them you will find life. Then there are also those whom the adversary sends. They may appear more appealing on the surface, more persuasive, more magnetic. They may come with grand promises of opportunity, of exciting companionship, or of much-needed help. But their fruit will never align with righteousness. If you look closely, you will see consistent patterns of manipulation, of self-seeking behavior, and of a subtle undermining of your faith in me. They may encourage you to compromise in what seem like small matters, until the small compromises become large ones. They may draw you into a life of constant distraction and busyness, until your precious time with me dwindles to almost nothing. They may flatter you relentlessly to gain access to your life, but their ultimate end game is to weaken you and neutralize your effectiveness for my kingdom. You must not fear these people, but you absolutely must recognize them. For once they are recognized, they lose their power over you. Once their true motives are exposed by my light, they cannot entangle you in their web of deception. That is the incredible strength of discernment. It shines a bright light where the enemy thrives in the shadows. It gives you the power of choice before the snare is sprung. It gives you freedom where otherwise you would have been bound. Do not measure people only by how they treat you in a given moment. For some will treat you with exceptional kindness for the sake of their own personal gain, while others may challenge you uncomfortably for the sake of your spiritual growth. Instead, measure people by the spirit they carry, by the consistent fruit of their lives, and by the peace or unease that stirs in your own spirit when you are near them. My spirit within you never lies. If you walk in step with me, you will not be deceived for long. I know you have a fear of making mistakes, a fear of trusting the wrong person, and a fear of pushing away the right one. Do not let that fear rule you. Trust instead that I am more than able to guide you. You do not need to live a paralyzed life, second-guessing every single decision you make. Simply stay close to me. Ask me for wisdom before you make a commitment. Listen when I nudge your heart. Pay attention to that quiet inner voice. Test every spirit, not with an attitude of suspicion, but by checking for alignment with my word and my peace. When someone's presence draws you closer to me, strengthens your faith, deepens your love for others, and encourages righteousness in your life, you will know that they are for your benefit. When someone's presence pulls you toward compromise, drains your spirit, unsettles your peace, or consistently distracts you from your calling, you will know that they are not. I will never leave you without guidance. Even in the midst of the most subtle deceptions, I will place signs for you to see. There will be moments where the mask slips, words that accidentally reveal a hidden motive, and actions that expose the truth. If you are attentive, you will see them. If you are humble, you will heed them. I am faithful to warn you, faithful to protect you, and faithful to guide you. Remember, my child, that discernment is not a one-time lesson you learn. It is a lifelong practice. As long as you live on this earth, new people will enter your life. Some will be there for only a moment, some for a season, and some for eternity. Each and every one of them requires discernment. Even those who were once sent for your benefit can change if they stop walking with me, and you must be willing to discern their place in your life again. Discernment is not about placing permanent labels on others. It is about continually listening to the fresh guidance of my spirit. Do not grow weary of this practice, my beloved, for it will preserve your destiny. It will keep your heart free from countless unnecessary wounds. It will guard your path from needless and painful detours. It will allow you to walk in a state of profound peace, knowing that you are surrounded not by those who drain you, but by those who truly bless you. And when the wrong ones do approach, you will not be afraid, for you will already see them for what they are. So I tell you, my beloved child, trust me. Lean on me completely. Ask of me, and I will give you a measure of discernment that goes far beyond your own human ability. I will train your ears to hear my voice, your eyes to see the truth, and your spirit to sense what is from me. You will know what is of me and what is not, and you will walk in wisdom, safe from snares and secure in my unfailing guidance. You are never alone in this. I am with you. I go before you. And I promise you that you will not be deceived if you hold fast to me. Discern, my child, for in discernment there is safety. In discernment there is wisdom. In discernment there is peace. And in discernment there is the blessed assurance that no device of the enemy can ever prosper against you.